Airbnb hosts using my pricing strategy make a minimum of 50% more with the same listing than they were making using their own pricing strategy. I promise to teach you my strategy in this video. Now, 50% is the minimum. I have made up to 4 times the amount of revenue on the same exact property. I've documented that on this channel with the Belmonte penthouse. What I'm about to show you is my Wednesday routine. It's something that I do every Wednesday. I review the prices. Once you learn this, it takes you 30 seconds per listing per week. As we go throughout this video, I'm going to be reminding you or introducing you to concepts and terms that I use, like BLT. I'll also be introducing you to common customizations that I use and to my thought process so that you really understand not only the how, but the why we're doing this. There is going to be some math. My editor is going to provide visuals on screen throughout this video to help you out every step of the way. We're going to dive in now, and this is the same thing that I cover in my online program. We meet once a month live online, and I start the class the first 15 minutes. I go through this routine, I explain my thought process, and then the students who are on the class get to ask me questions. If you're not on the class, then you get to post in the forum or comments, and I respond there. The first and most important thing is the BLT, the booking lead time. And this helps us build our occupancy targets, which says at this date into the future, I want to be this % occupied, 50%. If I'm lower, I'll lower prices. If I'm higher, I'll raise prices. So you can see it's very easy once we get past all the definitions and practicing. So I want to explain the colors for you first. You could come up with your own colors. Now, no color means that we are over occupied. You need to keep track of where you were at so that you can see the trend. We'll get into that later, what I mean by that. Now, green means good. Whatever my booking targets are, in this case, we're at 30 days. Green means that I am good. I am within my booking targets for that particular listing. Light red means that I am slightly below my booking targets, and dark red is I'm significantly below. We'll get to what all that means. So we're going to start with this first one. So this is my base price. Now, the base price is what your listing should be on an average night in an average month. We're going to be changing this no matter what you start with, so don't stress out about what your base price should be at the beginning. The booking lead time for this listing is about 25 days. So I know that at 15 days, because pricelabs doesn't allow me to select 25 days, nor would I want to, that I should be 60 to 70% occupied. Now, I am over occupied. Not only am I over occupied at 80%, but I have been over occupied for 3 months now. But you can see I've been raising the price from 600 to 900. So that's what you want to do. So I can also see that I haven't raised the price in 2 weeks. It started at 900. Before that, I hadn't raised the price in a month. I raised it 50. So now I'm at the point where, well, I can raise it. And I know that I just got a booking for like a month and a half into the future at a rate that was lower than what I know I probably should have gotten far out in the future. Now, you need 1 year in your market to become an expert at that market. It sounds like a long time, but even if your market doesn't have seasonality, you need about a year of data to understand what can you really get on weekends? What can you really get last minute or on weekdays 3 months into the future? That's really valuable information. So that's the first part about base price. Then I'm going to look at the calendar. Well, with base price, so because I've been over occupied for so long, and because of that reservation that was lower than I thought, I'm going to raise this to 925. We will save and refresh. That means that we're refreshing within pricelabs. Sync now in the upper corner. That brings it to Airbnb. You can only do that once every 5 minutes or so per listing. So save that until the very end if you want to. So I will do 925. I will not fill that in because I'm over occupied, right? Now I'll look at the calendar. Okay, this is an awkward day. I know, Monday to Wednesday, so I've lowered it to my minimum price. These are weekends in the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That should get booked at least 2 of those nights. So I don't have any. I'm looking for odd gaps. And if I have an odd gap, I want to lower the price. So there's an odd gap on a Monday. That's my minimum price. Now, if that Monday happened to be 2 months into the future, that might be showing at $500. But I even know then that it's unlikely to get booked, and I'd rather get a booking at $350 2 months into the future rather than no bookings at $0. Now, if you want to edit this, let me see if I have something. Actually, here we go. So this is Saturday. So this was the booking that just came in that I wasn't super happy with, although it is booking up at all the low demand days. Now, when you change individual prices, change it based on the recommended price. So I'm saying negative 20% based on the recommended price. That means that I don't have to remember to go back and update it every week because demand fluctuates on a daily basis. So instead of putting 750 here, I'm putting negative 20%. So in a week, that 750 might go down to 725 or what have you. So I'm still leveraging the algorithm that I'm paying for. Okay, that's the first one. Now let's move down to the next one. This is a new listing, so you can see why it was dark red and then it came lighter red. Now it's green. Because it's a new listing, I'm using 30 days as the minimum. Okay, we have 47%. My booking target is 40 to 60%. Now my booking lead time, if it's 30 days, we're always gonna have a range. The most important booking target is at your booking lead time. Whatever your booking lead time is gonna be 50%. You wanna be 50% there. So let's bring it up 40 to 60%, we're good. So here we're at 47%. We've been at 47% the last couple weeks. I see no need to change it, especially because I have just this very next week, opening days on the weekday and weekend. Now, I just lowered this price here. I had my minimum at 155. I lowered my minimum to 135 and I got a same day booking. So I'm going to change that from 135 to 145 because that tells me, even though I don't have enough data, this listing hasn't been in the market for a year, but I have other listings in the same market for a year. This tells me that maybe my minimum was too much. Maybe I can get an extra $10. What does that equal, by the way? What is that? What is that? $10 divided by 135. That's an extra 7.5% per year with that minimum price change. So you can see here I've done negative 15% on the recommended price because it's a Wednesday, Thursday, kind of an awkward day here. I'm actually going to increase that to 25% because this is a new listing. I'm focusing on getting bookings and reviews. So no change to the base price. Let's move down to the next one here. This one was offline in all of January and all of February. So it just recently came back online. We've been at, looks like I forgot to fill one date in here. We got 155 here and over occupied. So the next week, because it's a new listing, I put that in yellow highlights there. So I want to go back and test that in a month or two. I like to get 3 months of data for booking lead time. Now, 30 days, 73% were over occupied. Okay, we can see that I have made some manual changes here. No other awkward days. Healthy calendar. There we go, that Saturday. So that Saturday, Sunday, let's bring that down by 15%. I see no need for a minimum. We're going into high season now. No need for base price. We are, well, let's see, 155. I'm gonna boost it up just a little bit, I think. There's a really interesting listing coming where I got like 4 reservations this last week, and I've been raising the base price anyway since it became live 3 months ago. And so this host, this is one that I'm managing. This host must be very happy getting him $400 a night. We'll actually go in, when I get to that listing, I think it's the last listing or second to last, I'm gonna bring you to Airbnb and we're gonna go into the insights dashboard and we're gonna look at his occupancy and nightly rate compared to the competition. I bet you he is trouncing his competition. I haven't checked it. We're going to check that live. And if it's outside my expectations, I will explain to you why I think then that I need to readjust my own expectations. The most successful people in this world are best able to predict the future. That's a very hard thing. All right, so 160, I will keep it not filled in. It's over occupied. It's better to be over occupied than under occupied, but we really want to be in that green zone. I see no changes to minimum price or base price. I had a conversation with a owner last night and we're going to be implementing an Orphan night customization on one of the upcoming listings here. Now this one is interesting because we've had some problem guests here at the nightly rate. I'm not sure exactly why. So basically we've just said, hey, we're not discounting. We're going to accept a lower occupancy. That was an agreement we made with the owner. So you can see here, not a great occupancy here, it's 30 days, it's 15. So the booking lead time here is about 20 days. So at 15 days, we want to be 35 to 55% booked, or 33%. So we're going to stick in that light red zone. I'm not going to do any discounts. I'm not going to change any base price nor the minimum price. It is what it is. Moving on to the next one. This one is, you can see we're similarly, we're over occupied. We've been over occupied for a month and a half. Let's see what's going on here. Booking lead time, 15 days. So at 15 days, we're at 80%. So we're still over occupied. This one does have some blocked dates, which blocked dates count towards the occupancy. Now, this is the one where I'm going to add in a customization. The minimum nights here is 4. Now, given some changes to Airbnb and PMS tools, you need to fill in the minimum night on Airbnb, on your PMS, and don't forget on pricelabs. You have to do all 3 now. Now you can see these are unbookable. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is unbookable, but it's 3 nights. So that's why that initiated me to call the host. This is a managed property, and say, hey, we got a 4-night minimum, but I can do an orphan night discount, which I'll explain to you now. Excuse me, not a discount, a customization. Now, if whatever your minimum nights is above 1, then you can create an orphan night customization that lowers your minimum nights to fill the gap. So in this case, I'm going to create a 3-night orphan customization that says, hey, if there's 3 nights available between 2 bookings or block dates, make the minimum night on that gap, in this case 3 nights, make it 3-night minimum. So go into edit here, and in the minimum stay settings, I already have it on. I've already filled in 4 nights. We're going to add an orphan night. Length of gap, 3 and 3, okay? So now if you had a 7-night minimum, but you wanted, let's say, if there was just a 1-night gap, let's say you wanted that, then you would change this, then any gap 1 to 6 nights. Change that minimum from 1 to 6 nights. Length of gap is change it to whatever the minimum might be. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 nights, okay? So let's save this and then work with the pricing. We were at $525. I went down a little bit last week. I must have seen something, I can't recall, but that's where the history really comes in nicely. There's something I'm seeing here, which is a really core concept. When you're implementing customizations, then you need to understand what you're doing and then test that on the calendar. So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing the 19th and the 20th are bookable, but they shouldn't be, because that's 2 nights. We have a 4-night minimum with a 3-night orphan night gap. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go over to the live listing, and we're going to see if those dates are actually bookable. Okay, so when you put in a customization, go to Airbnb and make sure that that customization is being implemented the way you want it to be. So it is not. The 19th and 20th is not booked. That's an error on pricelabs side. So we can move on. We have this, all of this is correct. We have 525. I'm gonna go to the next month. Pretty healthy calendar. I'm gonna move it back up to 550. Now this one is a lake house, extraordinary seasonality. I've discussed in other videos why you wanna generally avoid Airbnb markets with tremendous seasonality. It just makes your life more difficult in various different ways. I'm gonna breeze over this. There's a bunch of rules that are going on here with the host owner. And so it is what it is, 250. We have some interesting discount customizations going on, but I don't anticipate it being booked. It looks like it did get booked a little bit. So at 60 days, we're at 43%. Interesting. So we're going to, what are we gonna do? We're gonna bring that from dark red to light red, but nothing else is changing there. I'll just go ahead in the future. Okay, looks good. All right. Now this last one, this is the one I mentioned earlier. So we could see this one started beginning of, 3 months ago at a 225 base rate. Of course, it starts with 0 occupancy. Then it went quickly up to green and over occupied, even though I was raising it. We are now from 225, we're at 375. We were at 400 a couple weeks ago. Now, the occupancy here, this kind of listing I love, because there's no seasonality. The calendar is constantly open. The host isn't living there. There's not constant block dates. It's just I get to work my pricing magic to 100%. And the result of that is magical. It's very profitable. Now, let me show you what I mean. we have, this is, what do we have here? 30 days. We have 30 days here. So at 30 days, I've adjusted it slightly. I want to be 30 to 55% at 30 days. At 30 days, I'm 77%. So I'm wildly overoccupied still, going on 2 months now. And I know I got a few reservations, so I'm going to do something crazy. Now, you want to raise this by 5% typically. So if you're around 100 and 150 bucks base price, you know, 5 to 10 bucks. If you're around the 4, 5, 600, 25, maybe 50 here. So I'm going to raise this 50 bucks because there's a little strategy I'm going to tell you about now. If you find yourself, for whatever reason, sometimes this happens, just wildly popular and you get booked up 2 months in advance when your booking time is 30 days. Well, what you need to do, so we're booked up this entire month minus an awkward Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. What you need to do when that happens, this can also come into play when you have one long reservation, so 2 or 3 months long, then you're going to boost up your base price higher, 20% higher than you normally would. And what that's doing, it's resetting the algorithm. So we're telling the algorithm, hey, this is a new listing. It's a guest favorite. It's got 6 reviews. They're all 5 stars. It's highly occupied. The reviews are long. Lengthy reviews mean high search rank. So we're telling the algorithm, well, we can book it at this rate, or we cannot book it. We can make money with this great listing, or we cannot make money. It's like if Airbnb is speaking. So you might get some bonus reservations. Now, of course, Airbnb's algorithm preferences cheaper listing, but you might, and usually do, get some bonus reservations at a higher rate, which is more so fortifying the algorithmic reset. Okay, the price was $350, but now it's $425, and they get booked at 1 or 2, you know, they got a couple reservations. All right, people are booking it at this rate. This is the new rate. We're gonna start showing it more. So I have just done that. I'm gonna sync prices, bring that over to Airbnb. At $425, we're overoccupied still. Now I will let this ride for another 2 weeks. If realistically in a full week, 10 days, I get 0 inquiries, okay, maybe I've overdone it a little bit. But if in 2 weeks I don't get any reservations, then with normal, I will start lowering my base price. Now I promised you something, didn't I? We're gonna go over to Airbnb, go back to the hosting dashboard, and I'm gonna show you of this particular listing. You saw the name of it. What is the, let's see, the booking lead time? So this has been available since middle of December, I think. All right, so hosts, when you go into your dashboard, you're gonna find that your booking lead time is lower or higher than your competition. You want to be lower than your competition. That means you're maximizing revenue. You're not leaving any money on the table. Why? Because those listings who are at this dotted line, the competition, they're not pricing their listing with my strategy. So for further out, typically their prices are not adjusted correctly. So the guests looking further out are booking these other listings and not mine. They're booking mine because there's not many great options left. And I know exactly where my sweet spot is based on my booking targets. My booking targets tell me everything, okay? I'm never freaking out. I never have that feeling, oh, I'm not booked this week or next week. With my strategy, I get to see into the future up until my booking lead time, whether that's 15 or 30 days. Typically around the globe, it's about 30 days booking on average on Airbnb. So my booking lead time here is 20 days. Competition is 37 days. That's a good sign. Now let's go to, what did I say I was going to show you? Occupancy? Yeah, occupancy. 87.5%. We are 25% higher than similar listings in the area. So we are trouncing them. Let's have a look at views. I'm not going to go back 3 months where we're trouncing them in view. Oh, we took a little dip here, but overall we're trouncing them in views, 300 higher. Wishlist saves, I'm sure the same thing, 18 higher than competition. So this listing is doing great. Now, I want to check one more thing before I make you a very special offer. And that is, okay, sometimes, so I want to show you this occupancy, 80%, 77%, 57%. That's the correct order in which you want to see these occupancies, higher to lower as days go out. Now, I thought because of the 4 reservations that I got this past week or so, I thought the next 60 days would be at like higher than the 30 or the 15 days, but it's not. If it is, that means you need a customization. A customization we use to counteract booking trends that we don't like, or we want to change. So one booking trend is if I know that my occupancy should be lower further out, yet at 60 days it's at 85%, I know that's not how it should be, and I need to add in a customization. In this case, I'm gonna raise the far out prices a little bit. I have a dedicated video to all of the customizations on pricelabs that you can view by timestamp. I named the customization Orphan day prices, minimum stay settings, last minute. And so you can figure out when, why, and how you will use that customization. I'm giving away 2 free lifetime memberships to my program, Profitable Properties program. I released it in conjunction with my newest book. There we have monthly calls. We go over live my weekly Wednesday pricing routine where you can ask questions. To enter to win this thank you gift, you have to do 2 things within the first 48 hours of this video being published. Number 1 is comment on the video with your interest. And number 2 is having left a review on both of my books, Optimize Your Airbnb and Profitable Properties.